And welcome back to another Let's Play with someone else's source code. Right, so today's exercise is to try and get the game to run at whatever frame rate the monitor is running at. How do we go about doing that? Well, we need to essentially decouple the game update loop from the frame rate and link it to time. We have a bit of a problem here because on newer ARM chips, on newer RISC-OS builds, there is no timer API, so we can't get an accurate delta between frame rates. Between frames. So we can't tell a frame is running. The frame rate is running at 60 frames per second or running at 75 frames per second. The best we can do is to base it off of the 100 Hertz ticker. So what we're going to do is first decouple the main gain loop. That's what we're looking at here. So this here is the main update loop. It actually starts up here. So this whole section I've highlighted is the main gain loop. We're not actually interested in a lot of this other topic because it's the keys. We only need to check those once, but the main bit we're interested in is this section here. So what this does is update the player. Not quite sure what matrix does. We can probably find out actually. Set up, there you go. Set up some, it does all the movements. That I suspect plots the scenery. Yep, plots all scenery. That I suspect probably moves ships. Yep, move and draw all beasties in the active object list. That I suspect is doing the particles. Yep, particles. And then before things updating your high score, that's probably setting the target for the ships to go after. The alien ships instantly go when they're spawned. They target a infected tree to mutate themselves. I'm not quite sure what the difference is between them mutated and not mutated, but essentially it's the same as Defender on the BBC. Then we've got some other bits here. Obviously clears, I set that clears the top half of the screen. Clear top of current screen bank, yep. Do scan, plots the scanner, I'd say. Probably plots the fuel bar. Not sure what that does. Terminates graphics buffers. Clear the bottom half of the screen. Plot the landscape. Yeah, plot the landscape. Then it bank switches and then it does, what's check sheet? Oh, that's probably checking if you've ended level. Yep. Okay, so what we need to do then is we need to decouple this loop from the frame rate and we need to link it to time. So how do we go about doing that? Well, what we're going to do then is we are going to first at the beginning of the loop, or just outside the loop I should say, we will work out delta time from the last time we were called. Now the best that's going to be is 1/100th of a second because that's the most accurate time we've got. So we'll base it off monotonic time. So we just need to read monotonic time at the beginning of the loop, see how many ticks have occurred, and if more than one tick has occurred, then update all the objects on the within the game, and then plot it. If no time has elapsed, well, we just don't do anything. We just skip the loop. And if more than one centisecond has occurred, then we'll loop around the actual update loop more than once so that it updates the ships at the same rate. So what we're going to do then is we're going to turn the game into running at essentially 100 Hertz, and then we're going to split the section that does the actual plotting out so that it only plots the screen at the when the next frame occurs. So what do we do here? So here's where it's actually counting time. So what we need to do is we need to add another variable called delta time. So let's just make a note of where this is. Go up the top. Where's that actually set? I think there's a function actually that sets this at the top. I remember seeing, yeah. So if we create a new one called delta time fn zd, I think that just creates another block. Let's see what that function does. Yeah, so it allocates one word in its allocated buffer. Its variable buffer, sorry. Right, so what do we need to do now? We need to split this out. So where do we start? Right, so we can ignore, it's going to be here. So here we need to read time. We need to load the last time we were called. In fact, we better create another variable for that. Oops. Where's this first entered? We should set that first so it doesn't jump a huge amount. Somewhere I'm missing it. Oh here we go, here's where it sets up the loop. So if we store R0, what's it used for referencing? RZP, comma hash last time. Right, so that's going to initialize the last time to the entry time. Now what we need to do is load the previous time in. RZP, comma last time. I'll do subs because I want to do a check to see if we need to skip the loop. Subs R1, R1, R0. We'll store R1 as the new delta, so I suspect we're going to have to check it. We might need to check it later. I can probably remove this later if it's not used. And we need to store the current time back. Oops, that should be a comma. Let's neat this up. Don't like code like this. Ugh. Delta time, this needs to be last time. Right, okay, so we've updated last time. Right, so R1 now contains the difference in time between the last time we were called and now. So as we've done, as we set the flags at the start, what we need to do is, if it's 0, so if no time has elapsed between the last time we were called, we need to skip game update. So what that'll do is just plot the frame. So to do that we need to reorder this slightly because we want to break off the stuff that does the plotting and the stuff that does the updating. So right, there's one that's, so these are all doing updates that update the screen. I think that updates the screen as well. Yeah, it's plotting the So printing the score on screen, so we want to move that outside the loop. Scenery, what does that do? Yeah, we probably want to move it outside the loop as well, because that's plotting the landscape. We don't want to waste time plotting the landscape. So we're updating the player, updating the movement matrices, moving all the ships, moving the particles, update the ship target. So now what we need to do is the loop around that whilst our delta time is greater than 0. So we want to put a loop in here, delta loop. We want to load that. In fact, let's copy that. Load the value, subtract it by 1. If it's not 0, we want to restore it back, and we want to branch back to the loop. So what this is now going to do then is if say 2 100ths of a second have occurred between the last time we were called, then it will loop around this loop twice to update all the objects, and then it will carry on and then plot it to screen and exit out. So what we now want to do is find the line. Oh, I should delete something. We want to find the loop which, sorry, not the loop, find the VSync weight. We want to put just one VSync weight in. VSync, I think it's commented as VSync, yeah. Right, so that's the proper one. I'll just do that at the same time. And this is the one reversed for the pi. Okie doke. Right. So what should happen now is our game should run at a ridiculous frame rate. It should run at twice the speed. No, it should run at 4 times the speed. It should update at twice the speed, and it should run at 4 times the speed. So it's going to we'll run out of memory. Oops, wrong button. ZPD full. What is that? If ZPD is greater than ZPDM, what's ZPDM? ZPDM. There. Guess we'll just increase that by 2 words. So that's all we need. 2959. 2959. Oh, typo. Right, let's see what that does. Oh, well that's felt spectacular, isn't it? Maybe we're either corrupting something or we're not doing something in the right order. In fact, that's probably even crashed. What's the key to break out? Break. Is it that? There we go. Right, let's have a check and see what we've done. Let's just comment out that. And that. And just see if it's the fact we reordered it that's causing it to fail. Right, no, it's not the reorder, so it must be corrupting flags. Oh, sorry, corrupting registers. So let's undo those 2 changes. Right, maybe it's R0 or R1, then it's obviously possibly been used. Let's have a look, see what these are doing. Right, no, that crap's R0. Is it R1? Well, it's a simple way to find out, isn't there? Let's switch that to R0. Actually, it could be that the tables are overrunning is another thing that we need to check. Let's just have a look, see what these do. No, it's not that. Do active as well, it does. Yep. I'll tell you what, let's just store R1 around that, just to quickly rule out register corruption. Oh, I know what's happening. Is if it's 0, it's not doing an update, so it needs to do at least one update if it's 0. That's alright. In which case we need to check that's less than or equal to. Which is it's negative or if it's 0. Let's try that. Nope, that crashed as well. Okie doke, maybe it is R1 being corrupted. Right, let's quickly rule it out. Right, it's not that. So that's something we are not doing that we should be doing. Ideal time, subtract by 1. Oh, I'm doing that the wrong way around. That should be if it's greater than 0. If it's greater than. That's better, right. So let's turn demo mode on. Right, so we should be running at 50 frames per second. Right, okay, that's okay. Right, let's go back to the line that was doing the VSync. If I add that back in, it should have the effect of halving the frame rate but running the game at the same speed, hopefully. Which it hasn't. So add another couple inches for the sake of it. No, it's not updating those correctly. So something's wrong. Right, what are we doing? Work out the time. Last time, subtract. Oh, I've got it wrong way. Oops, subtract R0, R0, R1. Star R0, star R1. Let's see what that does. Right. Chip's gone crazy. It's running a bit. It should be running at 100 Hertz. So let's see if that is the same speed if I get rid of those VSync weights. So if I can get rid of all those. Oh yeah, it's running at the same speed now. Right, so we've got the game updating at 100 Hertz, separate to the frame rate. So that's the first step. Right, next step then is to slow the game down. To do that, we need to get the game running at 100 Hertz. And to do that, we need to make all the movements. Let's make a list. In fact, what we need to do, because that's going to be a few. So we've got. Let's have my game loop. So we've got player movement needs to be a quarter. So we're going from 20. The game was designed for 25 Hertz. We're going to 100 Hertz. We're going to make everything 4 times slower. So our player movement needs to be 4 times slower. Beastie movement needs to be 4 times slower. Particles need to be 4 times slower. Gravity needs to be 4 times less. What else have we got? Rotation. There's the radar rotation. And also probably the I think the sea monster. Also needs looking at. Right, so where should we start? Probably let's look at the beasties, I guess. Now I think there's actually some variables at the top. There's control speed. Let's have a look. Right there, the maximum speed you should. We don't alter those. So we've seen, oh, there's the gravity settings. Let's just run it. Cut. Right, so what I want to do is slow these down by 4. See what difference it makes. See if it does actually slow the gravity down. In fact, I'll tell you what, I should probably undo all that. Let's probably do that. As these are binary values, or hex values I should say. Right, what does that do? Might be a bit hard to tell with the game speed, as it is. Yeah, I can't tell that. Our VSync isn't right for some reason. I'm seeing the frame change. Just double check I didn't delete them all. I don't know. I'll tell you what. Let's just put another one into what that does. Right, I think there's a problem here actually. I think the update is not working right. Okay, speed is working right, but yeah, if I pause it, there's things missing. Yeah, like that. So it's doing multiple updates per frame. There's something wrong there. Let's go back to our main loop. Something here isn't being reset. One of these is probably resetting the tables. That perhaps? No, because that exits early. What about that cap buffer? What does that do? Terminators on graphic buffers. Alright, all that seems to do is cap the end of the graphic buffer. That's a plot buffer. So it's not that. What does landscape draw do at the end of it? Does this reset the buffer at the end? Doesn't look like it. Okay, what we've got left? That window doesn't do anything. What's check sheet do? Right, nice. I need to check and see if you finished the game. Finished the level, sorry. That's not that. Oh, am I going to be calling this one too many times actually thinking about it? No, that's alright. Could it be the fact we changed the order? I think we already ruled that out. Let's just comment those out again. I'll just run it. Just to double check. Right, yes, definitely something to do with that loop, so something's not been reset. In fact, while we're there, let's quickly check see if gravity was altered by those values. Yeah, right, let's slow the gravity down. Right, let's throw thrust. Making out we need thrust. Well, just going to be based on player movement. Right, okay, so something in this loop is not being reset. So is something reset outside of this loop that we need to reset? What is the main game loop? T loop. Something must be getting reset here somewhere. Okay, let's have a look at what these are doing. Right, well that's going to be a problem straight away because we need to divide that down. That inertia needs to be 4 times higher. That won't affect the problem we've got at the minute there that we're trying to solve. Check if it applies landing, that does the exhaust. Triggers bullets, that's going to need slowing down. Did I put it on there? I didn't. Bullet. Bullets per second, I guess. I think bullets are treated as particles. So we don't need to worry too much about their speed for the minute. Right, that doesn't do a lot. Let's do matrix do. Right, that only needs to be called once. So let's move it outside the loop. Update player, update monsters, update particles, set target. Set target can probably be done outside the loop as well actually. We're going to move that down here. Right, does that make any difference? No. Right, it's got to be to do with the buffers not being reset. Oh, I'll tell you what, let's for the sake of testing, let's just move those up to our loop and see if that corrects it for the time being. Oops, that's better. Oh no, it's still got a problem. Better, but not quite right. So what's the next one? All of these are plotting to screen. Oh, hang on, we're not updating to time. When have I got to update time? I've got to update that in that loop. Just undo that change. Right. That needs to go inside this loop. Because we're going to update time according to the game is hundredths of a second every loop. So that needs to go there for a start. Ooh, look at that. Alright, so we definitely have running buffers. Yes. Okay, I'm missing something. Something obvious is resetting the buffers. We're going to find out where it is. Is it, well that made a difference. Let's just check these one at a time. Right, what does that do? That updates... okay, so that's got set targets. It's got 4 targets. So that sets the target, I guess, for the next update loop. Right, so it's definitely not that. That did seem to make a difference when we called that inside the loop. I don't see how, because that exits early anyway. So that can't possibly be altering any tables. Maybe one of these frame update things is doing it. Oh, that's just clearing screen. It's not that. Let's check the scanner. Let's do scanner or large scanner. Right, so it's got large or small scanner. Do they do anything? I don't think they're going to be doing anything. Plot the beasts, exit, no, they don't do anything. Right, what's the fuel thing do? No, that's literally just plotting the fuel on fuel bar. Maybe it's this cap buffers. Oh, unless any of these are actually based on what's in the buffer. No, they're not, we checked it. Well, let's find a way to find out, and that is to reorder this to there. We'll probably, actually that set target is probably inside this loop. Let's go inside this loop. Right, what does that do? Oh, it's getting incredibly slow for some reason. We're still seeing that VSync for some reason. Okay, well let's leave it like that for a minute. I'll come back to that at a later point. So what I'm doing now is try and slow everything down. Right, so we altered gravity, that seemed to make a difference. So now we need to alter speeds. So let's have a look at, let's go back to that. So let's have a look at these routines that update everything. So let's start with, the beasties. Right, so somewhere here is going to be velocity movements and fire rate. Nothing obvious in the comments. How is it updating the ships? Oh right, so there's a pointer to ship update code, which is that tactics routine. So it must be the tactics routine that's updating it. So let's have a look at tactic routines. Right, where are the ships set up? We need to find out what it does in the way of tactics. Bomber, para bomber. Table. That's the coordinates for the object. Somewhere here, which I can't see, is a routine. Maybe that's not it there. Let's sit on the levels. Where are the levels set? Not here, must be at the end. Nope. Okay, how are we going to find this? We need to. Okay, let's just search for velocity. There's the particle routine. Okay, next thing is applicable variable. So there's a variable that references it. Maybe one of these gravities. Not that one. Not gravity 2. No, but what we can do is have a look at that. So look at one of these. There we go. Drone tactics, I guess. Is that the first one? Pest tactics, sea tactics. Okay, beastie tactic routine. So let's make a note of that. Right, how's this altering the velocity? Oh, there we go. Position plus equals velocity. So where are those velocities set? Where are they coming from? They are coming from a table. So we either want to alter the table or we want to alter these. Well, right, what's calling that? Oh, it was that do beastie routine, wasn't it? Do active. So let's have a look at that. Oh, we got that velocity 3 words. So there's 3. So R0, 1 and 2 are the position, R3, 4, 5 are the velocity. So where do they come from? Somewhere it's loading them. Oh, we go, RBuff, 0 to 7. So what is RBuff? Player target 1. So let's see what store stuff in there. Oh, excuse me. That's interesting. That shifts it up by 4. The position in 4 cycles. Oh, this is the autopilot, I think. Okay, it's not that I want to look at. Let's have a look at that one. That resets the table address. Okay, what am I missing? Somewhere it's going to load that and update stuff in it. Oh, okay, here we go. Right, so that's the start of the table. Okay, so we want to look for beasties then, I guess. And see what stores that. Reset beastie sheet, here we go. Right, so it loads from one table and stores into the active table, so it must be a list of tables that store the ships that are on this level. So that's the level. Sheets. There we go. What's this? Right, let's have a look at these sheets. Here we go. Right, I have Velocity. So we need to divide them down by 4. So the quickest way to do that is to find that function and divide that velocity down by 4. Right, let's see what that does. See if that slows the ships down. Oh, well, it looks like they're slowing down. No, they're not slowing down. So what did that do then? Why didn't that slow them down? Okay, let's try velocity 0 and let's see what that does. That's interesting. How are they still moving? Ah. That's interesting. Some are affected, some aren't. There must be a couple of routines that set this then. So let's leave that divided by 4. Let's go back to our sheets. OPJ N, best drone. What's that ink? Is that the score you get for killing them, perhaps? It's not the opposite way around, we just multiply it up, do we? So we multiply by 4. But what does that do? Velocity equals velocity to... Oh, what's L step? Maybe we should change L step. L step is 2 to the power of... That's just a multiplier to get it to convert a decimal into a binary value. Does that make any difference? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, let's try it divided by 32. I just want to see those ships slow down. Alright, I slowed them down. So divided by 4 should be the correct speed then, if we're running at... No, we're running at 50 Hertz. So we're getting 2 updates per frame, so we should be running at double the speed. So if we put divide by 8, it should run at the correct speed. Yeah, that's better. Oh no, it's still... They seem to start off okay, but then they soon stop. Oh, hold on. There's not something daft like my loop isn't working correctly. Remote on time. Oh, what we're doing, that's why. I'm corrupting on all, so that needs to be that. Don't ask me why I did that. Right, let's try again. So right, they're running slower now. They should be running at half speed, which it looks like they are. Let's wait until this ship comes and attacks us, see how quick it is. That's double speed. Cheers. Right, so it's double speed, which is what it should be, because we're updating the game loop at 100 Hz, but we're only running at 50 Hz. So if we go back to that function, so if I do all about 8, it should run at the correct speed. Sort that velocity out. They can't be very good shots. I keep missing. That's still too quick. But there's got to be something fixed going on there. Right, let's quit out. Right, let's put that back to 4. That's correct. Okay, there's something odd going on with those ships. Now, what was it? What would you call that? It's not the pest. I've written that pink thing as the pest, so it's probably one of these drones. But let's go to the first level. So it's a mutated pest. No, mutated drone. Oh, that's the number it spawns. Okay, so there's three seeders, 1 drone, 1 pest. Right, so it's got to be the drone, something out with the drone tactics. So let's have a look in here, see if there's anything hard coded. Right, that's definitely it. Search for mutate plants, that's what it's doing. Right, that's updating the velocity the same. Oh, okay. Not too sure on that. Let's come back to that. Right, so what I want to do now is probably slow down our movement. Let's have a look at that main loop again. Do player. How is our velocity worked out? So I'm seeing there's a maximum velocity. So we need to slow down acceleration and lower the maximum velocity probably. Right, where were they set? Up here somewhere. What they are? Oh, it's not used. That's not used either. Okay. Delete those. Right, we'll go here. We've got like max speed, smoke velocity. So if we just divide all these down by 4, oops. See what happens. Possibly the damping. Not sure what that's doing. Let's leave that for the moment. Right, Right, does that slow down our ship velocity? Yes, it has. Still not quite right though. Oh, we've got to alter the thrust, haven't we? Where's the velocity for our playout? It's the... So what we need to alter is the rate at which we increase in velocity. Not the maximum. Well, we need to alter the maximum as well, but to slow down our acceleration we need to alter these. Right, one of these. Right, let's see if altering them makes any difference. No, it's all the full rate by the looks of it. What's going on with those VSyncs? For some reason VSync is out. Right, that did make a difference, but not the one we wanted. So let's go back to this. How does it alter the velocity? Ah, here we go. Thrust and damp. Well, that's here, so we need to make those bigger by 2. What's the other one called? Damp thrust. So it's thrust. There. Not sure what thrust 2 is, but we'll alter that. Right, so they're bit values, bit shifts, log 2, whatever you want to call it. Right, does that make any difference? Ah, yes, there we go. Right, so the next thing we want to do is something to do with checking when you crash. Right, let's have a look at the code that determines if you crash. That's probably in here. Here we go, player crash. First debris, what's that? So we'll do first debris. That looks like a table or something. Oh. What's that? Compare it with, so let's compare it with 16, that's, what is the R0? R0 is coming off the stack there, R0, so what's R0 there? Ah, right, it's checking the player height. So what happens if we just divide that by 4? Actually don't come in quite so fast. Oh, that didn't make any difference. Trying to figure out what this code's doing. Oh, there's this. Player height. What happens if we multiply that up by 4? Oh, can't take off. Right. There's definitely something to do with that. let's try divide by 4. Right, did I do divide or did I do... yeah. Let's try divide by 4 because it's doing a check below. No. That's got to be something to do with velocity. It thinks the velocity is higher than it is. What is this doing? Scene mask. Oh, we can optimise that for a start by doing that. In fact, well, it's staring me in the face, but I can't see it. Something to do with this. That's our acceleration. We've already dampened those down. Gravity we've altered. It's got to be something to do with this. Well, let's check actually. Let's comment that out. See if we're indestructible. No, right, so it's not that that's doing it anyway. But we probably do need to alter that. Oh, so is there another call? Oh yes, how we go, hit ground. Hit ground first, debris, hit ground, that one. So something must check to see your velocity. And if your velocity is below a certain level, you don't crash. So what bypasses that check? Oh, in fact, let's look for that crash flag. Right, oh, there we go. Shape drawing routines. No, it's none of those. Oh, maybe it's die flag. There's the hit check. What's that in? Oh, we go. Player land. So it's probably this we need to alter. Check. Here you go. Check velocity. Crash velocity. There we go. Okay. What happens if we don't alter that then? Well, it's definitely that value, but for some reason it's divided by 4 is too much. Let's divide it by 2. Don't know why that would be different, but what the hell? It definitely needs to be more than that. Well, I'll set for that for time being. It's way too high, but I shouldn't be able to land from that height. But that'll do for the minute. Right, let's just watch what this does in demo mode. Right, so what we should have is the game hopefully running at double the frame rate. With an annoying VSync wait in the middle of the screen. Actually, I wonder if there was a bug in... Let me quit out of ADFFS, because I remember there being a bug in there. I'm not sure if I've updated this version to the latest one. Right, demo. Yeah, there you go, it was ADFFS. I need to update it to the latest build, which fixes that bug. Right, well, it looks like it's now running at double speed. Right, well that's the first step. So the next step now is to get it to regulate the speed correctly. And for that, we'll do that in the next video. So for now, catch you later.